Hello and welcome, everyone. As always, I welcome you all to the aftermarket analysis session of Nifty and Bank Nifty in the Indian market. This session takes place after the market closes for Nifty and Bank Nifty. Here, we look at what happened in the order flow today and basically try to read the footprint properly. So, if you are a beginner, want to learn how to read footprints properly, want to understand order flow well, or want to learn how to use GoCharting effectively, then you can join this daily live webinar. You will get the link to this live webinar on GoCharting's Discord and Telegram community before 5 p.m. in the evening. Okay. Also, if you are using GoCharting at that particular time, you can go to notifications here and you will find the webinar link there as well. From here, you all can access the webinar. In any case, if you are unable to join the webinar, the recording of this webinar will be uploaded on GoCharting's official YouTube channel. You can join from there as well. I have pinned all the useful links for GoCharting's YouTube channel, community channel, etc. in the messages. Along with that, you will also find all these links in the videos on GoCharting's YouTube channel. You can go there and join from there as well. Okay, so now let's see what happened in Nifty today and how things unfolded. Before looking at the order flow movement in Nifty, let's first see what kind of confirmations the Nifty volume profile had given us in the last few sessions. Okay, this is tomorrow's market. Okay, in this market, a node has formed here. It's a big node, so we divided this volume node into two parts. Value area high and value area low, and we marked the value area high and the value area low. In any case, if it broke on the downside, this was the zone we had. Now, where did this zone come from? Whenever we look at a slightly larger time frame, it's the same, this zone. This entire range that Nifty had created, this was the opposite zone of that whole zone. Okay, in any case, if this also breaks on the downside, then we have this zone, okay, and if it breaks on the upside, this was the volume node. And this volume node means, first of all, we marked the previous day's volume profiles. Then, we looked at the entire swing high and swing low on a larger time frame. Okay, so now let's see how the order flow gave us some confirmations around these very levels. Where did the buyers come in, where did the sellers come in, and how? What exactly happened? Okay. Before you can read the footprint properly, you should know what delta is. Because with the help of delta, we read the footprints every day. Now, what exactly is this footprint? I mean, what is this delta? For example, let's pick today's second candle. Alright, these are the footprints of that candle. On the right side, we have buyers, and on the left side, we have sellers. So, for once, we add up all the buyers on the right side. Let's assume the total here comes out to be 1,81,000. Okay, these are the buyers on the plus side, so we add the plus side and then we add the sellers. Okay, the total for the sellers comes out to be around 1 lakh, which we note as negative. So, if we subtract these two, what do we get? There are 81,000 more. Who is more? There are 81,000 more buyers, so the same delta has shown us here as well, okay, that in this particular candle, there are 81,000 more buyers compared to sellers. Now, because buyers are more, this value is in the green box and there is no negative sign in front of the value. Okay, now let's look at this candle. Alright, let's check the delta in this candle. This time, the delta is inside the red candle. So in this candle, there are 600 more sellers compared to buyers, and similarly, this value is inside the red box and there is a negative sign in front of the value. We call this negative delta. Whenever there are more sellers, the value of negative delta is called negative delta. Negative delta means sellers, and whenever there are more buyers, we call it positive delta. Okay, the value of positive delta will always be seen inside the green box. Okay, so now we know what delta is. We know about positive delta and we know about negative delta. Pick any candle, no matter if it's a red candle or a green candle, like I have picked this candle. Okay, as soon as I look at the delta of this candle, I immediately know who has more strength inside this candle, meaning whether the buyer is stronger or the seller. Did you see the delta? There are more buyers around the 6,000 mark. Okay, so this means that inside this candle, buyers are more powerful. Even though the candle is red, there was nothing like selling inside this candle. Okay, now you must be noticing two things. Some candles have a very high delta value. 81,000, 60,000, 84,000, 96,000, okay, 27,000, 30,000, 28,000, and some candles have a very low delta value. Only 600, just 10,000, 6,000, 20,000, 4,000, meaning in some candles, the delta value is very high, and in some, it is very low. So, in those candles where the delta value is very high, there has been more buying and selling, and wherever there is more buying and selling, that's where the big players are also present. So, what is beneficial for us is to read those candles in which there has been more buying and selling. The candles in which there is less buying and selling are, in a way, neutral candles. They are not market maker candles. Which candle is a market maker candle? The candles in which there is more buying and selling. Okay. So now let's start from the first candle and see how we read the footprint of only those candles which have a heavy delta. For example, the first candle does not have such a big delta. A delta of around 20 to 30,000 or about 20 to 25,000 is normal, which is the delta value for the day's candles around 30,000. You can consider that there has been a decent amount of buying and selling in those candles. The second candle shows buying and selling around 80,000, buying close to 80,000. It's a good buying trend. Okay, so now let's see how we will read the footprint. What did the delta indicate? There are quite a lot of buyers, so let's jump to the footprint. Okay, who is more powerful? The buyers are more powerful. The buyer's side, the right side. And if you go to the right side, you will see the specific area where the maximum buying has happened. Look here, buying of 37k, buying of 23k, and buying of 21k, so particularly. This is the zone where we saw significant buying in the market. Okay, there was buying within one candle. There was buying in the next candle as well. This buying continued for up to 5 candles. Okay. The buying started from the second candle and continued up to here. Which was the very first buying? The buying in the second candle. Okay, then. There was significant buying in the next candle as well. If we talk about the buying at 53k from here to here, which was the biggest buying we saw, then it is at 53k and the maximum buying was seen here. Okay, particularly there are more small buyers here. It means aggressive buyers kept on buying continuously and the price kept moving up. A good buying was seen here. Buying was seen here as well. Buying was seen here too. But look, is this buying? Did this buying break towards the downside or not? So this buying is the kind of buying that is likely to work. This is the buying at 53,000. Did this buying break towards the downside or not? So this buying is something that deserves some importance. Look at the buying at 42,000. The market came below this level. There was buying at 54,000, 45,000 and 33,000 as well. But in the very next candle, all those buying zones were broken. There was also buying at 66,000 and 68,000. But after all this buying, the market price did not go up. Like here, when buyers came in, they took the price up. And here too, buyers came and took the price up. But this is the place where buying kept happening within the same range. Look at this. It means this was the place where aggressive buyers were quite active, and this was the place where the buyers started getting absorbed gradually. How do we know that buyers started getting absorbed? Simple, the buying zone was not broken even once. The market did not come down to this level. This buying zone was not broken. At 42K buying happened, but this zone got broken. At 54-45K buying and next candle, this zone was broken. At 66-68K buying and next candle, this zone was broken. That means the market came below these levels. So which zones were the most important to pay attention to? 53 and this one. Now let's see what happened whenever the market came to the pullback. Once it came to the pullback, we saw a decent amount of selling. Look at this, around the 30K level, but it hasn't come to the pullback yet. This is that particular candle which touched the 53K zone and, in a way, also touched this zone. But as soon as it touched this zone, we saw a good amount of selling here. So, whenever you assume that this is a bullish zone, okay, there are quite a few buyers here, so if sellers come back around this zone, then this zone can break. If there are no sellers, then in this case, if there is any zone, like this zone is formed, okay, this is a bullish zone, so when will this zone break? Only in one condition, if sellers come in, only then will it break. Sellers will come and break it. Here, we saw some light selling around the 30 level, and this was the selling zone. So as per the setup, whenever you see selling near a bullish zone during a pullback, you need to wait a little bit more. Next candle, even in the next candle there was some light selling. There wasn't much selling, just look at this. Again, selling around the 30 level, again selling around the 30 level, again selling around the 30 level, and this selling around the 70 level means that in the beginning, the market was bullish and went up quite a bit, but as soon as it reached the bullish zones, pullbacks started happening. We saw some sellers here and there. Selling, the biggest selling so far, and again, the biggest selling so far. And this is the biggest selling till now. I mean, there hasn't even been this much buying anywhere else. Selling of 70 at a particular zone. So what happened here? This is something you see very rarely. Okay, usually what happens is, unless there's a roller coaster, if you don't see selling near the buying zone, then you generally get a decent upside movement on the pullback. Here, as soon as the bullish zone was touched, sellers appeared. The sellers kept on selling continuously. There wasn't any heavy selling as such. But yes, there was a decent amount of selling. All the buying zones were broken by the sellers. And where did we see the most selling? Look here, it was seen here, selling at the end of 70 and at 33. Okay, and there was this selling as well, which was absorbed earlier. It was absorbed lightly, all right, but the market still came down below that. So again, this is the place where there is a high probability that strong sellers have come in at 70, at 33, and at 38, okay. What happened in the next candles? Now, look at this. This is the place where sellers have come in. Okay, this is the place where sellers have come in. Now look here, there is no buyer interested at all. In every candle the delta is negative, every candle has a negative delta. If there is one positive, it's just 3000, otherwise every candle has a negative delta. And what is happening here is that the resistance zone is being tapped again and again, and if you see here, there was a bullish area, there was quite a good amount of buying, but the same zone is being tapped and selling is coming in. Okay, so whenever a bullish zone gets tapped along with selling, so you need to wait a little more. And now see, whenever there is any reason to buy, then everything should be on the buyer's side, and whenever there is any reason to sell, then everything should be on the seller's side. Like, there was a good amount of selling, a pullback is happening, but there is no positive delta at all, again it's in selling here. What to observe is, if there was some positive delta here as well, then it would mean that sellers are not interested. Here, buyers are not interested, and the zone and market keep tapping the selling zones again and again, selling at 70,000, selling at 33,000, okay, it's working pin to pin. All the buying zones were held, they broke. There was significant selling, it held well, and we saw a downside movement. Up to where? This is the same zone which is the swing high and swing low, meaning this is the Vipuk zone for the entire month. It came up to here, but as soon as it tapped the Vipuk zone, there was a significant. Today, in Nifty, we saw the biggest selling of the day, and a delta which was above 1 lakh was observed. Around 1,30,000 again, let's focus on its footprint and see where the maximum selling happened. Look at this, selling of 1 lakh is clearly visible here, and selling of 68,000 as well. This is the spot where we saw the highest amount of selling. But what did the very next candle do? It broke through all the selling zones on the upside. So what does that mean? It means that all this selling has now been absorbed here. Just like there was selling and the market was holding below this selling zone, somewhere it was considering this as resistance, there was selling, and in the very next candles, all the selling zones were broken on the upside, which indicates selling absorption. Now, the next candles came back for a pullback, there was a rejection, again Nifty came to the same spot. There was more selling, and again, exactly where the first selling was absorbed, this selling was also absorbed pin to pin. Look at this, there is a delta of 61,000, meaning there are sellers of around 60,000 in this candle, and the selling of 41,000 happened exactly here, and the next candle broke that selling zone. Again, there was another selling absorption here, rejection, another set of sellers with a negative delta of 37,000 but absorbed, and from here, after taking rejections, Nifty gave the closing. So, how was Nifty today? In which candles was there heavy volume, and how did buyers and sellers act? The second candle had heavy buying, the third candle also had buying, which moved the price up quite well, but here, some of the buyers started getting absorbed. So, this was the bullish zone, but as soon as the bullish zone started getting tapped, decent sellers came in, and the market did not get stuck anywhere. As soon as the buying zone was broken, there was good selling in this candle. Which candle was it? If I tell you the exact time, there was good selling in the 10:50 a.m. candle. The next 4 or 5 candles held that selling zone without any buying, it was held, and on the pullback, there was downside movement. In the entire month's VPOC zone, there was good selling, but that selling was absorbed here. Again, there was selling, it was absorbed. As selling absorption was happening, rejections were seen, and exactly from here, after taking rejections, Nifty gave the closing. In the first, second, first 4 or 5 candles, there was good volume. There was good volume in the 10:50 a.m. candle. Good volume means the candles in which there were decent buyers and sellers. There was good volume in the 11:30 a.m. candle, in the 12:45 p.m. candle, and then in the 2:20 p.m. candle. And 10:50, these were the candles in which the footprint gave us some solid confirmation today. Solid confirmation means heavy buyers and heavy sellers. Okay, and these are the zones that, somewhere, clearly decided Nifty's direction. Now, if you know, please unmute yourself, Naz.